Hello, 1B families. I wanted to give you a little bit of an update on something that's coming home today. It is our sight word program. So, sight words, if you don't know, are words that kids should be able to see and instantly recognize. They should not have to decode them or sound them out in order to figure out what they are. And the reason that we think sight words are an important part of literacy is because if kids are always only sounding out every single word when they're reading, that can be really exhausting for them. Plus, it's hard to keep their attention when they're reading. And this just gives them more confidence and makes it easier overall when they're reading if these commonly occurring words they know on sight. It also helps their ability to write. So, usually, when kids are writing sentences, the sight words are the words that they would use in their sentence, like I like my dog. All of those, except for nouns like dog, are sight words. So, I like, and my. They will use those words a lot when they're writing, and those are words that they'll come a lot across in literature that they're reading as well. So, starting today, your child will be bringing home an envelope that looks like this. On one side, they've glued this little tracking chart on here. You can see it's got numbers on the book starting with 1 and going all the way up to 21. And then on the other side, they have their name. Now, this envelope also has the top cut off of it, and inside is where they're going to keep their current sight word list. So everybody's starting on list number 1, but not everybody will progress through the sight words at the same level. Some kids already know a lot of sight words just from maybe exposure to books, or it's easier for them to remember words. So some kids will progress through these quite quickly, and some will need more time, and that's fine. There isn't like a deadline when they need to all have list number 1 done. Rather, it's more based on the pace that your child learns and how much time they need to practice these words. So this is the first list. Every list has about 10 words on it, and they need to master this list before they bring it back and get the next list. So if they bring this home today, and they know all of the words, they can read every single word without pausing or without sounding out or without having to think for too long, then they've mastered it. And what you do then is they simply pop it back in their little envelope and bring it back to school the next day, and they put it on their desk with their homework. When I see that this is on their desk, that tells me that they are ready to test that list of sight words. I will then pull them aside during the day, ask them to read all of those words for me, and if they've got them all without hesitation or decoding, sounding them out, then they'll color in the very first book, and they'll bring home a brand new list for the next day. If they don't know all of them yet, that's okay. I'm not anticipating that they will know all of these words. That's why we're practicing. So if they don't know all of these words, then I need you to be practicing these words at home with your kids. Now, there's only 10. So this should not take tremendous amounts of work at home. This can kind of fit in with that 15 minutes of reading that they should be doing. And really, practicing your sight words can be as easy as just cutting these apart, making little flashcards, and then showing them to your kids a couple times during the day. That might be all it takes for your children to learn the sight words. Some other fun things that you can do is make an extra copy of these words and then play Go Fish. So I would have a whole set, and my partner would have some too, and the rest would be mixed up. And I would say, oh, do you have down? And my partner would say, oh, I do have down. Oh, do you have 4? No, Go Fish. Or you can play memory. So write out another set on some cards, put them down, and play a game of memory. So there's lots of different things you can do with sight words. I'll be sending or rather posting on our Google Classroom some activities that you can use to practice sight words. But kind of the easiest and bare minimum is to just go through these every day with your child. By doing that, they will start to learn them from recognizing them, and then they'll start to master them and progress through the lists. If your child is only struggling with, say, 2 words out of this list and you've been practicing for a few days, don't practice the ones that they know anymore. Just focus your attention on the ones that they don't. Okay. So the first time you go through it, just see what they can say for them. And if they're stuck on a word like this one, you can give them a hint. You can encourage them to try to sound it out, or you can simply say, that's a way. and have them repeat it and then move on. And then later on, the next day or later on in the evening, do it again and see if they remember it this time or if they still need more help. So when you're practicing with them, there's lots of different ways to do it because there's lots of different ways that we learn. And so you kind of have to experiment and see what works best for your child. But like I said, the easiest way to do it is to just show them the sheet. You can cut them out into flashcards if you want, or just have the sheet and say, let's go through them. Let's go through them backwards today. Can you remember all of these words? What's this word? What's this word? What's this word? Just a few times throughout the day will go a long, long way to them knowing these sight words. Okay, so once they have them all mastered, like I said, put it back in the envelope and send it back in the black folder, and I will test them, and then I will give them the next list. Your child might progress through these really quickly and be doing one every day or two, or your child might need some extra time to practice, and maybe it's only about one a week. If they're taking longer than 1 week to learn 10 words, that tells me that there's something else going on. Either A, they're actually not practicing at home, which is a problem. We need to be reviewing these every day, or they're really struggling with either recognizing them, or there's something else going on and we need to have a conversation about why that is. This 10 words, your child should be able to learn 10 words in under a week if they're practicing once or twice a day. And again, that practicing is like 30 seconds in the day just to go through. So it's not a big time commitment, but it is very, very important that you are doing it consistently every single day. And then, like I said, I'll post on Google Classroom some fun ways. So if you're wanting to do something a little bit more exciting, or maybe on the weekends you do a fun way, play a game or do something interesting, I'll post a list of things that you can do with these as well. Okay. If you have any questions about sight words, just send me an email and I will clarify it, or ask your child, because we talked about it lots in class today. So just a quick reminder, do not send this list back until your child knows all of them and they have mastered them, which means they cannot sound them out. They have to look at it and know immediately what that word is. If they're not there yet, don't send it back tomorrow. Keep it for another day or another couple days or over the weekend, and then see how they're doing. But as long as you're practicing every single day and just reading through or doing an activity, then you're doing the right thing and you're helping your child master their sight words. Thanks so much. Here's to a new thing to add into our homework time, and any questions, let me know.